Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. I'm starting cross exam. I hope you are doing well. I am Mike Miller, 27-year veteran of the comic book industry. Wow. Not a Bible scholar, but I have been reading this book for 20 plus years, studying it and about it. And so I'm here to discuss things with y'all. Today, I forgot I should be talking into this. Welcome to Boomertown. Welcome to Boomertown. Population 1. And that is me, my son. Alrighty. Today's topic is boys should be boys. Boys will be boys and boys should be boys, don't you know? All right, let us go. Before we begin our topic of the day, let's jump over to, oh, actually, let me refresh this really quick. All right, let me pop one of these windows open just so I have the, sorry. Let me say hello to the 20 of you who are here currently. And then, while I'm waiting for that to load, let me pop open yesterday's so that I can get the commentary from yesterday. Oh, my hair looks so silly yesterday. All right, who's here today? We have Red Saber. Hello. Death, Taxes, and Bad Comics. What's up, Toots? Elric. Jericho. Death Bell. Jericho. Timothy. Fish Pop Dragon. Elric. I think that's everyone who has mentioned the chat so far today. So, move it away from your mouth. Move it away from my mouth. Static? I don't know how to work this thing. Was it better when I had it over here? Is it better over here? Is it better over here? I don't want it to be, I don't know, I'm having some trouble figuring out this mic. Because it was sounding like I was talking to a clone like this the other night, listening to my feedback. So, sounds same to me. So you're getting what? Static? Static. All right, tell me what sounds better. This or this? Better now or worse? Should I just unplug this thing? Not real mic. You sound fine, Mike. Which sounds better? Now or the way it was before? Now it's worse. The second one sounds louder, sounds the same. Oh my gosh! I'm using my webcam mic now. First one the same. You guys can't seem to decide. Everyone has different opinions on what my flippin' mic sounds like. You're killing me. All right, let me see if I can just, is it too loud? I can turn my mic down. I can turn my mic down. I know, everyone's. All right, I turned down my audio level. Is it better? Better before, and I never heard any static. All right, I'm gonna just leave it here. You guys can adjust your volume since everyone seems to have different opinions of what is happening. Yes, not that. Okay. All right, enough of the mic. Enough of the mic. Deal with it on your end. I can't do this. I can't be all things to all people when it comes to microphones and internets. So let's jump in to, I got two two mentions yesterday. Oh, got a new guy in that Orthodox Jew art debate club I'm in. All right. Cross Comic says, "Hey Mike, you said Elijah was taken up in a chariot of fire, but Scripture says he went up in a whirlwind." 11. As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them. And Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. 2 Kings 2:11. Elisha was to watch Elijah go up as if he was to get a double portion. That chariot of fire would catch the eye more than a guy in a whirlwind, and a lot harder to watch a guy in a whirlwind. It's amazing. Everyone seems to get distracted by the chariot and horses of fire. I am totally guilty of that. In fact, I've done an illustration of Elijah riding the chariot of fire. I don't know where I have it, someplace. It'd be a fun thing. But yeah, I never caught that before. He actually went up in the whirlwind. That's interesting. Well, thank you for the correction, Cross Comments. And from our friendly neighborhood atheist, Demon Visorak, I was wondering, as you talked about your discussion with the Orthodox Jews while watching this, how did you decide to be of your Christian denomination? What to you makes it the true religion among 4,200 religions around the world? And then he asks an unrelated question. Demon, I am anti-denominational. I reject denominationalism. I believe in the Bible. I believe in the Bible, and I believe in the Bible. I'm going to try to do a short version of this. I was raised agnostic, and I came through essentially through a series of studying about the Bible because I was curious. I was curious about supernatural things, UFOs and near-death experiences and stuff like that. And ultimately, it led me to study, well, there are claims that the Bible is supernatural. And so I studied the claims of the supernatural elements of the Bible, prophecy, medical and scientific foreknowledge, even Bible codes and stuff like that. And it proved itself to me to be written from outside of the human experience. And therefore, I had to decide. This is a very short version of my testimony, sorry. I had to decide, did I want to believe that this was written by time-traveling space aliens who were determined to fool the world by trying to make people love each other? Or was it authored by the person who claimed authorship, who claimed to have breathed every word of the scripture, God? And so I opted with the God option because the other option actually sounded sillier. And then I did because I understood the claim. See, the claim of Scripture is, if you look at Deuteronomy 18, if someone claims to speak for God, they must be able to tell perfect, accurate prophecy. So once they utter the words, "Thus saith the Lord," if what they say does not come to pass, then they are not only a false prophet, they're supposed to be stoned to death. So all of those who were prophets in the Old Testament, who laid the foundation for the New Testament, were held to this standard. So either they could speak with perfect accuracy the future, because there is only one who knows the end from the beginning, the one who created time itself and can look from the beginning to the end of time at the same time. That's time. There's no time. Anyways, thus I began a search through the other world religions, through the other world religious claims, through even like Nostradamus and others who claimed to have the gift of prophecy. Because I'm like, well, if this is the claim of God, right? There's only one creator. He's the only one outside of creation who can see the end from the beginning. So if there is another source of God's writing out there, I want to know about it. I want to know if there's some hidden secret text in a cave in Uganda and it's got fulfilled accurate prophecy and proves itself to be written by God. I want to know, because that'd be great. The Bible's only 1,600 pages. If you could throw another 20 pages in there from some source and prove that it's from God, give it to me. I want to know. I could never find it. And I've held this challenge up to every person of every faith I've ever met. I'm like, you have this claim. Good. Prove it to me. I want to know if there's more. It's like Game of Thrones is my favorite series of books. I want more. But, George is taking forever. So it's the same with the authorship of God. If you really believe in God and you want to read more of his works, you look for it. And I looked for it, and I have never found any. And so, no, I don't believe in any particular religion or any particular denomination. I am anti-denominational. I believe in the Bible. If what you believe matches up with the Bible, awesome. I mean, and we can even disagree with, I could disagree with the Orthodox Jews. I still think they believe in the same God. They just are blinded to Christ, Jesus being the Messiah. I don't see Christ is just the Greek word for Messiah. Isaac, can you actually close the door, please? Thank you. And so yeah, it's the Bible is God's message to us, as opposed to us trying to build a religion to describe God. And so that's how I approach it. Technically, I'm non-denominational, but really, I'm anti-denominational. I disdain the idea of splitting the church, the body of Christ, into little cliques and segments. Heck, I hate the idea of political parties. I guess I'm not a joiner. All right, let's see here. What has? Oh no! What the heck has been happening?
Lag.
Oh no, are you seriously? Are you serious? Are you serious? Restart the stream. Okay, this is ridiculous. How long was I out? How long? I didn't even notice. I just gave this really long answer. Last 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, where had I gotten to Demon's question yet? It's working just fine. Okay, now it's working. Did like 4 minutes. Okay, so what was the last thing you guys heard? And I can try to start over. Because I don't want to. I was answering the question. Was I answering the Elijah question or Demon's question about denominations? We didn't heard anything. All right, you know what? I could just go back and replay it. How long? I didn't even. 2 Kings 2:11. Elisha was. Did you decide? I was curious. It proved itself to me in segments. Heck, I hate the denominational, but really, I'm anti it. Written from to build a religion to describe God, and so that's how I approach it. This is very technically I'm non-denominational, but really, I'm anti. What the heck? I'm trying to do a short. I was raised. I'm studying about. It's on YouTube. All of my answers. Experience claims that the Bible is supernatural. Prophecy, it build a religion to describe God. It's being written from to build a religion to describe God, and so that's how I approach it. Technically, I'm non-denominational, but I'm really okay. Well, I think we're okay. How you chose your faith? Yeah. Gosh darn it. I hope I answered that adequately. Is that for me?
No, it's for me.
Are you serious? She can't give me food while I'm on stream.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
No.
All right. That's really weird. All right, so this is going to be very rude, but can you close the door, please, Micah? Thank you. My wife delivered me food, so I feel like I have to eat it. Oh my gosh, it's a steak. She didn't give me a knife. Not too bad. All right, that's when you dropped out and buffer. Steak and eggs. This is my wife trying to take care of me, even though she knew I had just started the stream. So this is very bad form, but I'll just edit this out later. So it's steak and eggs. I got these thin little steaks at Bargain Market, and you just sear them up a little bit, drop an egg on top, sunny side up. Yeah. Gosh, I hope I answered that adequately. It was very strange that it buffered, but I think it all got on there still. Sorry. You know, hey, boys will be boys, right? You know what? While I'm eating this, why don't we watch this god-awful Gillette commercial? Oh no, this is so bad. I'm pretty sure you've all already seen this, but this is what we're going to talk about for a bit.
Bullying. The Me Too movement against sexual harassment. Masculinity. Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it. It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off. What I actually think she's trying to say. Making the same old excuses. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men. Men need to hold other men accountable. Come on. To say the right thing. To act the right way.
It is cool. It is cool.
Nobody's big. And small.
I'm a girl.
But some is not enough. So don't tell each other that. Okay? Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Triggered! Triggered! How dare you say that boys will grow up to be men? That's going to be the backlash. That's going to be the backlash. What if a boy doesn't want to grow up to be a man? Did you ever think about that? Yeah, the funny part is that boys will be boys. Yeah, boys roughhouse. That's what boys do. My kids beat each other up all the time. It's perfectly normal boy behavior. It is how boys create their hierarchy, right? They challenge each other. They this part with the dude say, dude, not cool. Don't go up to that girl you think is pretty and try to get her phone number and start a relationship. What you want to do is go on Tinder, and then you can just swipe and chicken. It is the worst. It was an ad created by women for women. It's an ad created. It's just another part of the culture war. You know, they're trying to tear down masculinity and what it means to be a man. What it means to be a man. Just like this study, it seems like this topic just keeps coming up over and over. Tearing down the men. Tearing down the men. And I heard a quote. I know I should be using biblical quotes, but I didn't prep for that part. Oh, no, I've got egg on my chin. On my chinny chin. That if how did it go? Something along the lines: if your culture refuses to raise men, it will eventually be taken over by a culture that has. Right? I remember a story in history where I can't remember if it was the Greeks or the Romans. They took over this. It like took them forever to take down this one city. I can't remember what it was. I just remember it from history class in high school, and it stuck with me this whole time. But they had a heck of a time taking down this one particular city, and so finally they did. They killed all the men, I think, if I remember correctly. They killed all the men, and all of the male children they forced to wear dresses. They took away all their weapons, and they made them study art and poetry. I mean, obviously, nothing wrong with studying art and poetry. But they essentially feminized the entire next generation, and they were never a problem again. And that is what our culture is trying to do to our men. Right? I mean, they did it like as a tactic of war to dominate and make sure that these people were never a problem again. I don't know if it was Carthage. I really do need to go back and find that story because it was really, really interesting. I mean, it's stuck in my head from high school, from 30 years ago. I remember this story out of history, and and it's just so indicative of what these leftist psychopath, freaking ne'er-do-well, do-gooder morons are trying to do to our culture. Honestly, I'm about at the point where I'm gonna freaking start embracing bullying, because that's where this all started. This anti-bully culture. I know people. I know bullying, being a bully is being a douchebag. But I know people who would never have stood up on their own 2 feet and became men had they not been bullied, because they never would have had that opportunity to rise above being bullied. Right? People have okay, growing up, nobody ever tried to bully me in grade school or middle school because everybody knew I knew Taekwondo, right? I got to high school and I was always the youngest and smallest guy in my class. I got to high school and I was like probably the youngest, smallest boy in my entire high school. And I just remember one of the seniors um, came and tried to bully me, and I just freaking wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm like, yeah, what? Even though, I mean, this is one of the dudes on the football team. He must have weighed freaking 250 pounds of muscle, and I'm like this. I think at the time I was probably 5'3" freshman year, maybe even shorter. And like, you know, skinny little dude, and this freaking hulking guy comes up and tries to bully me, and I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. And that's how you learn to stand up, you know? I mean, not me. I didn't have to learn to stand up. I was just arrogant and wasn't gonna take it. But when you are bullied and you reach that point where you're like, I'm not going to take it. Or you have a father that says, don't take that. You stand up to the bully, even if they punch you in the face. And that has happened to me. I stood up to, actually, that's right. Oh, I forgot about that instance. I stood up to a bully. Well, I didn't technically stand up to him. He tried to bully me. He stuck my calligraphy pen in a pile of dog poop. And I picked it up out of the dog poop and I wiped it on his chest. Because you don't bully me. I wouldn't. I like I said, I was the smallest guy in class, but you don't. I wasn't gonna take being bullied. And he punched me. He punched me, and I wouldn't punch. I didn't punch him back. I just stood up to him. Um, but for some people, that's the point in life where they realize they can stand up and fight for themselves and be a freaking man, not be a little. I don't know. I sometimes think that a lot of these people are the way they are because they were raised with the anti-bully culture and therefore they were not bullied and they don't understand what real physical threats are, and so that's why they jump to words are violence. Words are violence. You're hurting me with your words, right? It's like, did a bully never punch you in the nose? Because that's violence, right? I've had a bully punch me in the nose. That I recall it was violence. But you stand up to them, and you know what? When you stand up to them, they respect you. And that guy, can't remember, Danny. His name was Danny, and he never messed with me again. And I didn't even fight back. I just stood up, right? I just stood up, looked him in the face. He punched me, and I just turned right back around and looked him right back in the face. And yeah, I think that part of boys being boys. I'm sorry, this is not a Bible study. I should find. I mean, you know, the Bible talks so much about raising your men, and I should be using scriptures to define that. If anybody has some great scriptures about this, Christ Energetics or Cross Comics or Rhaegar, one of you guys find something, pop it in there, and I'll talk about the scripture. I don't want to start Googling stuff right on stream because that gets a little bit tedious. But no, I think, you know, that's how, you know, the hierarchies are the hierarchies of I'm trying to do the Jordan Peterson thing. I don't really want to though. Hit them with the Bible. Bible thump. Yeah, no, you gotta let boys be boys. You gotta let them roughhouse. YouTube, you don't strike an entire channel because a 10 and 11-year-old kid are wrestling like 10 and 11-year-old boys will do every day. I've got some great video of my kids just going at it in the hallway, you know, and they get frustrated, they get angry, their testosterone rises, and they have fun because that's what it is to be a boy. Let your boys be boys because boys should be boys. Don't throw a freaking dress on them and tell them they have to go learn their poetry first. 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. All right, I'm going to have to look this up. 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5. Second Timothy 3. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful and unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers. Oof, wow, how much of that do we get today? Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. I can go on. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. Yeah, boy. Truth. What else we got? Uh-oh. I have the wrong window open. Nope, that's not the right one either. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. James Dean, creator of Conflict for $2, says, love always protects. Love is in the air. Love always does what is best for those whom you love. And honestly, sometimes that means not protecting. Sometimes that means allowing a young man to protect himself. Now, obviously, you're going to be kind of off to the side and hoping they can, learn their lessons. You know what? Birds got to fly. You got to kick them out of the nest sometimes and hope they can flap before they hit the ground. You can't coddle a child into adulthood. It doesn't work. Boys will be boys, but those boys do, as the end of the Gillette ad says, those boys do have to become men. And that means they're going to have to go through some stuff, including, things like fights, things like standing up against bullies, things like learning to learning how to attract a woman and how to treat a woman, not the way they do on TV, that's for sure. James Dean says $2. You can't protect the weak if you are the weak. Yes, absolutely. Fizzpop says, love is sometimes letting your loved ones pick themselves up. That's how you learn self-confidence and independence. That's right. The do it yourself. Do it yourself is, you can't do everything for your kids. They become spoiled little brats, and they don't know how to adjust to real life. So you start them, as soon as you can, as soon as it's feasible for a child to stretch and grow and try to reach new levels of maturity, you let them. And sometimes that means letting them fight their own fights. Also, long hair and fights, bad idea. If boys don't become men, who will get rid of spiders and mice for women? Oh, that's a very good point. Catholic Rob said, stupid kids these days are a bunch of babies. Let them fail on their own sometimes. That's right. That's right. Failure is a great teacher. Experience, you know, you don't learn from winning. You don't learn from winning. You learn from losing. You learn from failing. Or, if you're wise, you learn from the failures of others. Next, the left will want to edit Christ overturning tables from the Bible. Such a bad example for boys. Not just overturning tables. He made a scourge. It said he made a scourge himself. I don't know how long it takes to make a scourge. Braiding together the cords, tying it, making it, you know, the frayed end and all of that stuff. He didn't just grab a rope. It says he made a scourge to go beat these dudes over the. For those who don't know, a scourge is what Christ was whipped with when he was tortured. His scourge was a cat of nine tails, so it also had bits of bone and metal in it, so that it would rip the flesh apart. But a scourge can be made without the bits of bones and stuff. But it has a flayed. It's a whip with a flayed end. So he essentially, not essentially, he made a freaking scourge to go beat these guys up. That's my Jesus. That's my Jesus. He wasn't just he wasn't a hippie, you know, love, peace, and whatever. No, there's a time for peace and a time for war. That's Ecclesiastes. Just Henry for $5. What, Romanian? I don't know. It says R. Speaking of beating each other, when you gonna challenge Jim Lee to a boxing match? You must get even. I'm good. I've forgiven Jim for his misstep, a horsewhip. Any other scriptures you guys can dig up that I can quote here and try to work into this here discussion? 80 viewers. Wow, this is a lot of viewers for cross-examinations. I work at university. I see so many students, both male and female, can't handle adversity. One time, a 20-year-old girl was crying because it was raining and she had to walk back to her dorm. What can you even say about that? I mean, that level of being coddled. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I wonder, does all this include transgender men too? No, if you teach them to be men when they're boys, then they grow up to be men, not women. Also, teach your girls to be girls. And that means being the appropriate role model for them as a parent. That means the man should be the father. The man of the house should not be the mother. And likewise on the other side. So if you give your children the appropriate role models, you will more than likely not have to deal with the whole transgender issue. I firmly believe. Ledger Domain says, you called kids who were climbing in the park dumb the other day, Mike. They were climbing on the outside of the it was like the tube slides, right? They were like 15 feet high at least, and plastic, and it was raining, or it was sprinkling at least. So yeah, that was dumb. And I called my own kids dumb because they started doing it after they saw. I'm like, no. I mean, you can fall off of something, 10 feet and probably not break anything. But when you're getting up around 15 feet, you fall off of the top of that thing. There's a good chance you're going to break something. Ankle, arm. I mean, my son broke his arm falling out of probably 8 feet, probably falling 8 feet out of the tree. I broke my collarbone falling probably about 8 feet out of a tree when I was a kid. A 15-foot climb literally could be fatal. So, yeah, that was dumb. And I'll just call it like I see it. Those are dumb kids. And I didn't want my kids to be dumb, so don't do that dumb stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm really sensitive to this. I'm sensitive to the stupid stuff kids do because my 14-year-old nephew died doing just a thoughtless thing that kids do. And it wasn't even particularly dumb. It was just, well, yeah, I guess it was dumb. It was dumb. He jumped on the back of a moving tractor thing and then somehow slid off, and but it's the sort of stuff that boys do. You know, we do dumb stuff, and that's why we have to learn not to do the dumb stuff. Yeah, I don't know. So I am sensitive to it, and that's why I don't want kids climbing 15 feet up on the outside of a thing. So yeah, I don't like kids in air tractors. Yeah. Well, yeah. An adult with more common sense should have been nearby, but he wasn't. Well, and that's the thing, is that teenagers can tend to, encourage each other to do dumb stuff. So that's why you need to teach them when they're younger to heed their common sense. And there's stuff you can do that's fun and risky even, but just to be aware of. I'm sorry, I just got all freaking throttled by this. Yeah, I'm just. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys, and they should be. But you got to raise them not to be stupid about it. Oh, your cousin died on a tractor too? Dang. I'm sorry, man. I know how that feels. Unfortunately, I know how that feels. Yeah. It's okay. Eat some more food. All right. Do we have any other scriptures? Maybe I should start looking up some scriptures. I'm gonna live up to my meme as the crying guy. Let's see. Scriptures on. Da-da-da. 10 Bible verses for a man you are raising. Let's do this. And that is not the stupid Pinterest thing. We love the crying guy. Pandas, thoughts? Pandas, like 60, 70 years ago, were to China what Bigfoot is to America. Did you guys know that? They were just rumor. They were legend. Nobody had ever taken a picture of one. Nobody had ever captured one. They were just this thing that not everybody believed in. And then they found some. And imagine when that happens with Bigfoot. Yes, this is my boy. Homework in progress. All right, 10 Bible verses. Can we get to one? All right, here we go. Joshua 1, 7 through 9. Be strong and very courageous. Right there, that flies in the face of this whole emasculating of boys paradigm that these psychos on the left are trying to push. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Be successful? No, they can't be successful. That goes against it as well. Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous fall. Psalm 55:22. Even a child is known by his actions, whether his conduct is pure and right. Proverbs 20:11. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity. Oh, that's a really good one. 1 Timothy 4:12. I'm going to repeat that one. This is advice to the young, okay? Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity. And in purity. Especially if you are young and you are a virgin, don't let people give you crap for being a virgin. Be proud of your purity. That is a great gift you can only give your beloved person. You can only give it away once, and you can crumple it up and throw it in the trash, or you can save it and give it to the one person who will cherish it most in life. And then my favorite: trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. That is Proverbs 3:56. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction. Do not forsake your mother's teaching. They will be a garland to grace your head and a chain to adorn your neck. Proverbs 1:8 through 9. Flee the evil desires of youth. Are easier said than done, right? Especially when you have peers who, what is the phrase or the scripture? Is it bad company corrupts good morals? Yeah. Thank you, Elijah. See, this one knows. Flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Don't have anything to do with foolish and stupid arguments. Strikes at my heart. Because you know they produce quarrels. Elijah, can you close the door, please? And the Lord's servant must not quarrel. Instead, he must be kind to everyone, able to teach, and not resentful. 2 Timothy 2:22-25. The most important one, answered Jesus, is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Again, this is a great thing to teach your children. Mark 12:29-31. He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love mercy? Hey Elijah, are you done with your homework? Get off of YouTube. He has told you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8. And finally, Micah 6:8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Philippians 4:8. There's a hand with food. Yeah. Let me swing back up here. Soon we'll have Bigfoots refusing to mate in captivity. Chat behave. I liked Ethan's take on Gillette commercials. Men don't usually say boys will be boys in a weird robotic excuse fashion. That's a narrative. Yeah. The boys will be boys. Boys must be boys in order that boys may become men. I used to grab a hot wire on my buddy's house for fun. I'm not sure how that's fun, but someone probably should have taught you not to. Oh, Jude Vanillion. I played with gunpowder when I was young, and it blew up in my face and singed all the hair on and around my face. Taught me a valuable lesson. On my only play with my gunpowder through the end of a gun. This is another case of you know, you want them to be, you want kids to be able to challenge themselves and to do crazy things without doing stupid things like that. I played with bullets when I was a kid in ways that they weren't designed to be played with, and that was stupid. But thankfully, nothing happened. My friend was playing with gunpowder in shop at school. Somehow he brought gunpowder to school, and he was trying to put it in an empty CO2 cartridge. Well, apparently something sparked because it blew up, and it blew off his thumb. Blew off his thumb. And I know you guys give Ethan crap about being thumb toe, but when you blow off your thumb, they'll cut your big toe off and they'll put it here instead. And so he's got a legit thumb toe. It's like this giant thing. I'm not gonna name him. His first name was Steve, but I'm not gonna say his last name. If you know a Steve with a thumb toe, he went to high school with me. But yeah, I just remember that he had to wear, he had the surgery, and then like for the rest of high school, when I saw him, he had this like semi glove on to like it covered up all the stitching and stuff like that. But yeah, boys must be able to do fun, crazy, challenging things, but you also have to raise them to know not to do stupid things. And there is a difference, you know, there is a difference. And granted, you know, kids get hurt doing just the crazy stuff, not even the stupid stuff. They will get hurt. And unfortunately, sometimes though they will get killed. But they can get killed walking across the street. So freak accidents do happen. I did probably a million crazy things and a quarter of a million stupid things as a kid, and thankfully none of them killed me. But you know, that's called being a kid. Chris says, I honestly thought the purpose of the culture war was one side not having a purpose, cough the left, and those who see it and are fighting to keep the purpose role come to people. Yeah, that's JW. Not having a purpose. Let me think about that. No, I don't know if it's purpose. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I think I'd have to think about that longer than just a flippant answer here. Your son has some anime protagonist hair. Okay. Don't you need your big toe for optimum balance? You do need your big toe for optimum balance, but you need your thumb for most things in life that you do with your hand. So one is of more value than the other. Ooh, I know a kid who blew his whole arm off with gunpowder. Elijah, Micah, do not play with gunpowder.
Yes.
Okay. Look at some of these dumb challenges on the internet. Yeah, these people have zero common sense.
Gunpowder challenge.
Gunpowder challenge. No.
How to blow your arm off tutorial.
Let's see where we're at. Come on. This is killing me. Okay, we got about 7 minutes left. Anybody else have Gail? Will you draw my next comic? No. Pero estoy hablando un diferente lenguaje. Pero estoy hablando un diferente lenguaje. You speak a different language? I was smart enough to just dare another kid to play with gun. That's like evil genius. Why don't you play with the gunpowder? I'll be over here. That's really a thing, M. What's really a thing, M? Shoot yourself in the foot challenge. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Russian roulette challenge. Some idiot goes and starts a Russian roulette challenge. Kids are so dumb nowadays.
Maybe they always were. You just didn't realize that as a kid.
No. There never would have been a Tide Pod challenge in my day. Nobody would have done that when I was 30 years ago.
You're just not where you live.
Kids were not that dumb. I made a comic character named Jacksonia, and I came up with a sidekick named Toots. Jacksona. Bird box challenge. Oh my gosh, I didn't even want to get into that. Actually, that was one of the stupid things I had saved. There was a girl, I don't know if this has happened more than once, but there was a girl who was doing the bird box challenge in her car. She put a blindfold on while she was driving and ran into another car. Thankfully, nobody was killed. But it's like you're watching the interview with the sheriff, and he's just like, I don't even what the people today that the people. It's just like flabbergasted at the stupidity of kids today, and I was just like,
because they have internet now, and so the attention seekers can get way more attention for doing stupid things.
that's not stupid. That's borderline suicidal stupid. So yeah, yeah. Hikaru, Mike, Russian roulette challenge, new trend. Gail, Mike, you're my spirit animal and forum guide. I need your art worse than I need Colonel Sanders. Sorry, Gail. You're just gonna have to eat all them what was it? Sardine? All the sardines at SeaWorld. I must have missed something. This is not particularly edifying. I'm sorry, Tolfer. Yeah, this episode has not been as Bible based as most of my episodes, and I do apologize for that. I do apologize. We'll try to get back to that tomorrow. Hopefully, some of you will have some good comments in this one that I can attack in tomorrow's feed. So, there a bird box challenge? Question mark? Yes, Rhaegar, and people are dumb enough to do it. We had Chinese figure traps, thumb wrestling, water balloons. Yeah, right. Remember that? You know what the big thing was for us? Pencil fights. Pencil fights, man.
Didn't you guys do the eraser thing back then?
What eraser thing?
We were trying to erase your skin.
No, I mean,
Like the eraser burns.
Oh. Yeah, like Indian burns and stuff.
No, eraser burns.
You don't know what Indian burn is? Come here.
You mean with your hands?
Yeah. You grab somebody's wrist and you go like this.
I know what that is.
Yeah. We had much less stupid things. Tolfer loves my streams. Thank you. More like bird brain challenge. Right? Pencil fights were awesome. I know pencil fights were like the thing. Everybody was doing pencil fights every day in middle school. It was great. Paper football. Yeah, the most dangerous stuff we did was ride skateboards and mountain bikes. Yeah, we'd build ramps and you know.
Every day we stray further from God.
My son, did you hear that? My son says, every day we stray further from God, out of the mouths of babes. Micah, say something wise and profound. You got nothing? No? Do your homework then. The bullying part was Bible-based. Love your streams. We have new contestants for the Darwin Award. Yeah, I sometimes think a lot of those Darwin Award things were just urban myths. Abandon intelligence challenge. Oh man, so many of them would win that already. I ran with him. Henry Alfonso says, I ran with him in Civil Air Patrol. He blew his arm off when he was younger, making a pipe bomb in his backyard. I don't know why he was making a pipe bomb. My uncle, as my uncle always said, kids are stupid. That's true. That's a level of stupidity. Kids in our day would do stupid stuff like with gunpowder. So maybe we just had different, or like we look at detergent and we're like, well, it would be really, really stupid to drink that, but hey, is that some gunpowder over there? let me pack that into a pipe so that it can explode when ignited, and yeah, just had gunpowder lying around. Well, it's not. It's I guess it wasn't that hard to buy. And my son says you can make gunpowder, which is true. It's what is it? Charcoal, saltpeter, and sulfur.
Yeah. And a lot of those are household ingredients.
I just told everyone how to make a pipe bomb. Wah, wah, wah. You empty a whole box of bang snaps into a tissue to make one big boom snack. You know what I used to do? I used to take the little ladyfinger firecrackers, and I'd take a PVC pipe, and I'd have one end I could screw, and I'd see what would I do. So I took the cap and I drilled a hole in it so you could stick the end of the ladyfinger out of the back, and then I would, I'd slide that in there, and then I'd drop some dog hair as wadding, and I'd tap that in, and then I'd put we had this little plastic balls. I can't remember what game I had them out of, but I took the plastic ball, which would just fit perfectly in the PVC pipe, and I just tapped that all the way in there, and I made a little gun out of it. That was fun.
You're so smart.
We used to build model cars and airplanes and blow them up with firecrackers. I wish I had a cell phone camera back then. Oh man, I had a friend. Who was that? Was that Cuddy? I think it was Cuddy who would blow up frogs with firecrackers, and I think he even one time put a firecracker in a cat's butt. I think the last time I saw that kid was when I went to juvenile hall, and I got into a cell, and I turned around and he's the one in the bunk next to me. Mike, can you grow a beard? Why do I get this question all the time? No, I can't grow a beard. I can grow a goatee. See here? Pretty much nothing. A little bit here. Then just here. Nothing. Goatee.
Almost like we have more hair than you.
What did I get juvie for? Let's see how much time we got. Oh, so we are over an hour, so we're gonna have to cut that off now. Thanks everyone for being here. I hope you had a good time. Come back later today, and I'm sure I will be doing. Oh, Drawn and Quartered is tonight. Drawn and Quartered is tonight. What shall we do? Maybe G.I. Joe. Let me think about it, and I'll tell you then. Thanks for being here. Good day. God bless, and I love you all.